think we knew what we were setting out to do, and that was quite important to us. On the last couple of albums, we tried some different stuff, and there's a bit of a saying in Skindred nowadays, which is just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Yeah.
So on this album, we really set out with an ethos of just making it just a rocking album, like a hard driving album, you know. So it's not sections of, because we draw inspiration from everything. You got the dancehall and all those kind of elements. But on this album, we didn't want it to be, here's your dubstep section, here's your rock section. We wanted it all just to be mashed together. And to make sense to anyone that listened to it, you know. You didn't have to be a fan of this, that, or anything else. So on this, yeah, we got together and we purposely set out to make it just a really hard driving album, and an album that would really appeal to Skindred fans as well. The other albums, the last two albums were great. They're great albums, and they mean a lot to us.
Yeah.
On this album, we didn't have that push for like a radio single.
Yeah.
We didn't have that push for a commercial aspect, trying to achieve anything other than just be us. And I think it's blossomed because of that, you know, as an album. I think it makes a lot more sense. People always say, people who've never heard of Skindred always say, what's it like? And I always say, if you like music, you'll like Skindred, you know? Because a lot of people, I just like metal. I'm a metalhead, this is all I'm going to like. Or I like hip-hop, and that's all I'm going to like. And if it strays either way, then they're not going to really appreciate it. And with Skindred, I don't think we really ever cater to anyone. We never had that pressure. We just do what we do. And yeah, I think it does appeal to a lot of different types of people who are fans of music, really. And it always has, and that's something we really try to bring around back again on this album. Yeah, there's definitely elements of heavy music there. If you were allergic to distorted guitars, you probably shouldn't come to a Skindred gig, you know. But likewise, if you're allergic to having fun, then you shouldn't come to a Skindred gig either. It's those terms, no, they don't really sum it up entirely, but there are elements of all of that in there too. So adding the new songs into the set was something we were excited about from the moment we wrote it in the album.
Yeah.
And that is true. We could just feel that power and the energy there. And the track listing on the album, actually, we purposefully did it so it hits you hard and is relentless, and it's you know, it's got you ready to listen to the rest of it.
Yeah.
Adding those songs to the set already makes the set, which was incredible in the first place from our point of view, as egotistical as that sounds. Edit that bit. Adding those songs into the set takes a set which was already great and doing you know, a lot of good things live, and propels it to another dimension now. When we play those songs, they've got such energy to them that they're instantly digestible as well as songs, you know, so the crowd listens to them, and if they haven't even heard the new album, I think they know where it's going to go. You don't have to think about where to jump up and down or anything like that. It's a strange one. It's almost like death by kindness. It's being a great live band in this day and age in music especially is a hell of an accolade to have. And we work hard at it, but we just go on and we do what feels right. So it's great to be a good live band, but yeah, I think it's always often overlooked that Skindred writes some really good songs too, you know.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more to it than just jumping up and down, going mad.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people think it's almost a bit meathead as music goes, but there's some really intricate parts in the songs, you know. And even us as a band, we don't always appreciate it. When you write an album, you know, it's like you tour it and you get so used to it. It's only when you then listen to albums you maybe haven't played things from for a while where you go, Jesus, yeah, that little bit was good. So yeah, I totally feel that we're overlooked as a great songwriting band and usually put up there as a great live band, but that's no mean feat either. No. So Skindred is a slow burning band, but that gives testament to what we can do and how we can do it. We're not one of those bands that comes around overnight and then disappears just as quickly. We have been slowly progressing, and it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And I always think with Skindred, the proof's in the pudding, you know. If you come see it, you'll kind of get it. And if you don't, then you shouldn't have been in the first place, and you're fucking wrong. So fuck off, back to fucking insert generic pop act here. Go on, anyway. I think a lot of the time we get people who come to shows and they'll see it on social media and they say, I've never heard of you before, never heard or seen any of your music before, but that was great.
People who aren't even into metal.
Exactly, and that's the beautiful thing. I hate to sound like a cliche, but that's a good thing about music, you know. We don't just go down one avenue. We appeal to a lot of people. I think it's if you want to come and have a good time at a good live gig, you're going to like Skindred, you know.
Yeah.
So it is great when you see that expand a little bit and you see those different fans. So On Volume is the first album that I've written on. And important for me as well, from coming from someone who's, I don't even know what to call myself most of the time. I'm a DJ, but I don't play other people's stuff, so I'm not really a DJ. Or people call me a keyboard player, but I don't have a single keyboard on stage, or all this sort of thing. So like, I think the best one I heard in a review once was Samplesman. I like that. It sounded like something from back in the 1700s. But from my point of view, I was so desperate to not come to a great live band, perceived as a great live band by so many thousands of people, and ruin that somehow by throwing in all of a sudden electro sensual, you know. So yeah, so for me, one of the best things I've done, I say I love, I shouldn't say it about my own stuff, start that again. One of the best things that I've done on record that I was really proud of was in Under Attack. There's like the air raid siren sort of scratchy thing, and making that in a way where it was modern but then also rootsy and organic. That's really what we wanted to do. We didn't want it to be yours setting off a preset on a synth. You wanted it to be sounding like it was sampled from a record, because that's the kind of shit we grew up. Sorry, can I say that?
You can swear.
Shit, this is university, right? Fucking right. Because that's the kind of stuff we all grew up on, you know. Yeah. So it was really important to have that kind of flavour to it. So yeah, Under Attack, off the top of my head, I'm really, really proud of that air raid siren thing. Hey, look, we're really lucky. We've done Download and we get great crowds there. It's almost like a homecoming festival now for Skindred Download. So I guess the real goal would be to headline Download.
That'd be so good.
That would be incredible, and I really, really think we've got that power to do it now, you know. Yeah, we've done, like, Polish Woodstock was a hell of a thing to do in Poland, obviously. It was like 1 million people there unofficially or something like that, so that was insane too. I think we'd really like to go back to America too, because the band was there for a while and progressing. But you know, you're saying we've done Wembley. It would be great if this band could headline Wembley next time round, and that's the goal. You know, that's the aim. We're doing Brixton on this tour, and that's an incredible venue to play. And the next step up, Wembley Arena, man. And then hey, ultimate goal, I think we could all retire quite happily on. Not that we would retire, but we could. It would be selling out Wembley Stadium or something like that.
Be pretty happy.
Yeah, it'd be like Queen in '86 kind of thing. But
thank you very much.
Up there. You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
Left-handed shake.
Yay.
Cheers, Jack. Next question, Jack.
You're all together as a band.
You're like, oh, not now. I'm doing an interview.
No, you're about to.
You're going to edit this, right? Someone's editing this, aren't they? Yeah. Good.